High Velocity Wrestling is a professional wrestling promotion based in Western North Carolina. HVW's events provide a family atmosphere featuring old school pro wrestling with a modern day flair, giving a little something for everyone. Hey, what is up? Welcome to the HVW Podcast, the official podcast for High Velocity Wrestling. I am your host, Tom Clark, and we're here to give you the latest HVW news, exclusive interviews, and some fun pro wrestling conversation. Remember to follow us on all of our social media, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are available in the episode's description. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the show. You caught me reading. I haven't memorized all that stuff yet. I've only had 2 years. I need time. I mean, it takes time to create, man. I can't just snap my fingers, spray a little fairy dust, and make the world come to life. I just pulled that out of thin air. That's how a writer's mind works. You never know where it's going to take you, kid, do you? All right. Anyway, welcome back to the show. I'm just ranting for no good freaking reason. We here at HVW are extremely excited to talk about the JD Drake match. If you did not watch AW Dark, man, did you miss out? Drake did on there, represented the great state of North Carolina, represented himself very well. Drake did this for Drake, and good on him, going out there and proving what he can do, as he said he was going to, and he most definitely did. If you're tuning in tonight to catch a little bit of what we thought of the match and to get our take on it, then you're going to get that and then some, because we're going to spend tonight talking about stars that have come through HVW and made it on to the big leagues and to the national primetime stage and the worldwide stage, let's be honest. But before we go any further, folks, let's go ahead and bring on the man himself, the owner and promoter of HVW, Mr. Gary Benfield. Gary, what's up, my friend? How you doing this evening?
What's up, Tom? How are you, my brother?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Hey, you never picked up on the beanie earlier.
I didn't, did I? Oh, there you go. I don't know if I know that one, man.
Dude, that's the EOD, baby.
I know it is. I don't know if I've seen that particular one before. Have I?
Probably not, because I found it in a box that I had packed up with stuff.
I have an EOD hat somewhere around this place. I gotta find it. So yeah, man, we're just going live tonight, kids. We've got some folks coming in. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate your business as always. So Gary, I know you've not had a chance to watch the big man in action, the blue collar badass himself. Ooh, language.
JD Drake.
Drake representing former HVW champion, former Evolve champion, overall badass. Let's be honest. I never curse on the shows here, but I'm gonna call it like I see it, guys. He's hard hitting, rough and tumble, but very good in the ring. Before we get to the match, because I think we're going to try to show the match, and don't no one tell anybody. Don't get a guy in trouble here, kids. We just want to have fun and watch a match, okay? Everybody relax out there. No copyright infringement intended, okay? Before we get too wrapped up, Gary, give me a little bit of history of how did Drake come to be in HVW, and give me some of the backstory of him working for you in the company.
Well, when I started HVW, there was another Fed that had ran some shows in Hendersonville, was owned by the guy that actually started training Drake, David Reimer. God rest his soul. He was the owner of STW, or no, SWA. I'm sorry, SWA, and they did a few shows in Hendersonville and then moved down to Forest City. And when I started running, we kind of co-promoted a show one time in Hendersonville, and Drake was a part of it. And that's how I met him. And then, he just started coming up working for me on the nights that SWA wasn't working, and just became a regular part of our company and spent a long, long time with us, man, many years through all of our venues. I mean, Drake was a part of every venue HVW had.
He definitely became a big part of the company. How many times did he hold the HVW championship? Do you know?
I can remember 3 different times. Man, I'd found an old HVW DVD. Me and the trainees was watching last Thursday night, and it was JD Drake and my son. They were a tag team. They called themselves the New Age Enforcers.
Right.
And they were wrestling Rocky Star and Rocky and Jesse Star. Yeah, it was cool, man. Drake was chopping the dog crap out of those guys. Even back then, he was.
And folks, if you want to check that out, that's actually available on our YouTube channel under the HVW Retro banner. That match is posted there for you guys and gals to check out, so we hope that you do. Before we go any further with Drake here, let's talk to a couple of folks who tune in. David Griffiths, who's a loyal fan of the main event. Hello, David. David's in Australia. David, what time is it where you are right now, my friend? It could be Wednesday morning for David right now, I imagine. Scott, what's up, my friend? Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it.
What's up, Scott?
Yeah, so we're just getting started here, kids. We're just starting to crank a little bit here. As we've said a few weeks ago, we planned on going live every other Tuesday. We're right on schedule here. Sugar Shane back in the house says, I'm new to HVW. What does EOD mean? Oh, goodness. Shane's curious. Gary, let's share with Shane a history of the EOD.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. The EOD was me and my former tag team partner, Steele, and we were managed by Bishop. But the EOD stands for Elements of Darkness.
There you go.
And we just, we were kind of dark and gothic, and we had this little clique behind us, and it was just a lot of fun back then, wasn't it, Tom?
Oh, my God. It was such a blast. I hope to, not hope to, I'm looking forward to building the kind of memories with HVW that I have with EOD and UWA and Lenore. I have such great memories of those days, man.
Absolutely, brother. I can't wait till all the restrictions are lifted so we can just get back at it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. And hopefully it'll get here. Those were the days, man. We got to have ourselves an EOD podcast. I still don't think we've ever done that. We have. No, we lost a brother last year, which we haven't really ever talked about on the show. And, we're going to have to, whenever we eventually do the show, we're going to have to definitely honor his memory as well. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's thanks for asking, Shane. EOD was a great part of, it was the ground floor when I got in. My first night in the business, I became the manager of the biggest heel stable in the freaking company, which I didn't ask to do. It was more or less like, hey, man, I want to get you in. Do you want to be the manager? And I'm like, dude, I've never done this before. Like, I had incredible stage fright. The promo that I cut on the first night with us in the ring, when I was giving you guys props and I was up in Roger's face, I rehearsed that thing for 7 straight days. I rehearsed it in front of the mirror. I rehearsed it alone. I rehearsed it in the car going back and forth to work. I even had it written down. I had it I recited verbatim. I didn't miss a word that night either. Every word, but I know if I could see it back today, it would probably be like, God, it's so monotone, because I just didn't let it roll off the tongue. I just rehearsed the crap out of it. I just didn't want to screw it up. I didn't really care about looking silly myself, but I didn't want anybody in the crowd to say, I thought EOD were butt kickers, man. Who's this idiot? That's the last thing I wanted to do to you guys, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude, it was awesome, man. You come out and did exactly what you needed to do. We kicked butt and started a new chapter of the EOD that night.
It was fun, man. I miss it.
Read Scott Larson's comment, Tom.
Yeah, how do you do a podcast with those big little eyes behind you? Scott, that's my audience. They are my faithful audience. They're always captivated. They never go anywhere. They're always on hand. I'm upstairs one day, several months ago, playing bass, and I turned around and was just playing, and I was getting into it. And I looked up and I realized, this is my freaking audience, man. This is starting to get weird. Like, I just started looking at them, and they're all looking back at you, and you're like, all right. So I got to turn back around. It's getting creepy. So I just imagine them getting up to like the elves cobbling shoes for the shoemaker at night when he's asleep. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they're stalking you and the wife at night when y'all are asleep in the bed.
Yeah, they're like staring holes through us, you know. All right, kids, we're going to attempt to do this, and I'm going to warn everybody up front. There again, for God's sake, don't be telling on a guy. All right, for goodness sake, we just want to watch the match. Gary's not watched yet. This will not have sound. My thought is no sound equals no cutting us out of the Facebook. So if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, we're getting prepared to watch Eddie Kingston versus HVW's own J.D. Drake. And we're going to share the screen here. And if you guys have not had a chance to watch it, now is your chance. So, Gary, you're going to dig this, man. Again, really good match. The volume's off, and here we go. If you're trying to keep up with us, kids, it's about the 41:20 mark of AEW Dark on Tuesday, February 23rd. 41 minutes, 20 seconds in. Drake did not come out to any specific music. He came out to the AEW Dynamite theme. That's what they played him out to. So I'm guessing that because he uses copyrighted music, they couldn't play it on YouTube. I mean, dude, look at him.
Look at him. That's our boy right there. Look at him.
I know, right? No nerves at all. I mean, if he was nervous, I don't see it.
You see him wipe them feet. Look at all you rookies out, all you flippity-floppity wrestlers right there learning some shit.
Yes. Absolutely.
Complete respect.
Completely shows respect. Keeps the mat clean and also shows respect to the business. It's very important. Kingston, and I just watched this with my wife downstairs, and the minute he hit the ramp, I looked at her and I said, look, Eddie doesn't have a body. He'd be the first one to tell you that, but man, he is tough as nails, and he's got a huge heart for this business, man.
Dude, that's why him and Drake are perfect together.
Oh, my God, dude. I wish I could play the chops for you because they light each other up. I may have to squirrel some audio in here, and hopefully we don't get caught. We'll see what happens. Let's see if I can get it queued up for the chops, and maybe you can hear it. We'll see what happens. This is what we call the getting to know you part of the match, folks. The feeling out process, as it were. I'm digging those boots, Drake, as well. Are those new boots he's got on, man?
Well, I think those might be new, but he's been wearing that style for a while.
The Dusty Rhodes style, baby.
Shane Odom, you exactly right, brother. He looks just like a big version of Ole Anderson.
All right, listen. There it is. All right, I don't want to get us thrown out, so there's a little bit. There's a chop. I've told you this story before, Gary, but we had seen Drake at an Evolve show, and this was before we had started HVW back up, and Wesley had gotten up, my kid, and followed Drake around the building. I forget who was working. He wanted to follow him and see what was going to happen. They were chopping each other throughout the crowd, going all the way to concession. All the fans were getting up and following him. He goes, Daddy, can I go? I said, go. Just don't get lost. So he went and he had to watch him and stuff. And then fast forward to last January, and we're seeing him live at Resurrected. So pretty cool.
Oh, Kingston didn't post that knee.
Yeah, I caught that. You know, and not for nothing. Oh, there's a good one.
I know he felt that. I've took a couple of those myself, so I know he felt that.
Nice boot there. Drake sold like a champ, man. He really did. Good timing there. Drake got there in time. He wasn't having to stand around too long. That kind of stuff makes me crazy. I mean, he lights Eddie up. I mean, Eddie's chest.
You see him work that camera?
Oh, yeah, for sure. At the end of this match, Eddie's chest is lit up, man. This is the point where, yep. Drake powers up in a second here, kids. It's good stuff. Got that forearm going, man.
Kingston.
Yeah, man. He's tough as nails, dude. He really is. They love him backstage. They love him in that company. He's become a real mascot for them, and I mean that in the best possible way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. They really love him. Good heart, man. Go back and watch some of the locker room stuff he does where he's talking to the guys. Man, it's inspirational. Drake firing up, baby. Trying to mount some offense. Kingston cutting him off. I feel like I should commentate this thing.
Oh. Shane Odom, what you think?
Bam!
Does he remind you of Stan Hansen?
Oh, man. Eddie got him with that headbutt, dude. Come on, ref. Break it up.
I'm digging the boots, Drake.
I really feel the need to commentate this match, man. I can't help
myself. Do it, brother. Do it.
I think it's fun. I'm sure it's just coincidence, but Kingston wearing the black and gold of NXT tonight. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure there was no pun intended there. Boom! Nailed him with a stiff right hand there. And Gary, if you're curious, yes, Drake nailed it. And I won't tell you, but you know it's coming at some point. He nails his 2 signature moves.
That's awesome.
Bam. You know he's going for
the first one.
You knew. Vader bomb. Okay, 3 signature moves.
Dude, Drake carries himself so well.
Yeah, he does. He's back up and down off his feet really well. Shane says he looks like a big version of Ole Anderson.
Yes, he does.
I'm sure he'd take that as a compliment.
Oh, I thought he was going to gut wrench him.
Judge in the house, baby.
What up, Judge? Look at that up and over.
Got that running boot, baby.
That's 300 pounds, fellas.
Yes, sir. He hit Boss with that too at Resurrected, man.
Yeah, how about that up and over? I got trainees that's struggling to do that.
Cannonball! Bam!
Boom! Love it.
Boy, he hit every bit of that. Every bit of that.
Here we go.
Listen to this finish. Bam!
Beautiful sail.
Yeah.
JD Drake, I'm proud of you, baby.
Yeah. He's got to be proud of that. I mean, he's well, okay, maybe proud's maybe a bigger word than maybe he would use himself. I don't know. He's got to be happy with that. I would be if I were him. I think it looked good. I think everything looked good.
Yeah. I mean,
for what it's worth, in my opinion,
put him over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Look at him. Eddie's still in the chest because he kind of has to. I'm just saying, Eddie's beat red right now, baby. You can't appreciate it until you get the camera after the replay here, but you'll see it. I mean, look, man, he's bruised. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. I love Eddie.
Shane, his finish, he calls it the drill bit. It's kind of a double underhook twisting suplex type thing. It's really awesome.
So since we're talking about Drake, and the theme for tonight, because we knew we wanted to do this tonight and congratulate him and of course wish him tremendous success. I've told you before, and I said this to someone else before we went live tonight. I believe 2 things will happen tonight. I believe one, he will get some sort of contract offer. That's me hoping for the best. Number 2, I believe whether that happens or not, I think he'll be getting a phone call from the competition. That's what I think. And I've been wrong before, kids. I've got no backstage information. Drake hasn't told me anything. That's just me speculating. So there you go.
Hey, brother, I hope your speculations are right, man. I would love to see him get an opportunity.
Absolutely. He's and it's funny because during Resurrect, and dude, Resurrected's been 2 years ago. Can you wrap your head around that? Has it been 2 years or it's a year? It's a year.
1 year. I was about to say 1 year, Tom.
Dude, it's funny because today I was thinking about I was looking at the calendar, looking at something that had February on it, and I was like, oh my God, it's been a year since we've been locked down, essentially. And then since then, my brain's been in a scramble, man. Time has just done this weird thing the past 12 months where it's like,
dude, I know.
It feels like it's been forever, but then it feels like it just happened in a weird way. So, yeah. My apologies. A year ago, Resurrected happened.
Yes, sir.
Wesley wanted to get a picture with him, and I said, son, you haven't asked for a picture with anybody. Did you want a picture with anybody before we left? Or before everybody left, I should say. And he's like, JD. And I was like, all right. So JD's back there after the main event. He's He's trying to get dressed, and I said, "Brother, I appreciate you. I know you're trying to get ready." I said, "I don't mean to bother you." I said, "My kid would love to get a picture with you when you're ready." He's like, "Yeah, no problem." So you know how it goes in the locker room. Guys talk, and they just keep talking. So he was still talking. He was already dressed out, still talking. This was 40 minutes later after the match or whatever, 30, whatever it was. So I was kind of shadowing around the corner, and I didn't want to be that guy like a fan, you know.
Right.
But he was grabbing his bag, and he's like, he looked up at me and my son, and he goes, "Oh, I haven't forgot about you. Come here." So I was getting ready to take the picture, and I said, "JD," I said, "the only thing my kid asks is for the hardest chop, as hard as you can." He said he can take it. And Wesley goes, "No, don't tell him that." And he just starts laughing. He goes, "I'm just kidding," you know. So he posed, and he did the fist pose with him, put his arm around him. And then right after I snapped the picture, he popped him on the chest one good time. And it wasn't like an insane Drake chop, but it was enough where Wesley went, "Oh," and he started backing up.
Right.
I said, "Sell it, kid, sell it."
That's awesome. Hey, Wesley will remember that forever.
I know, right?
He took a chop from J.D. Drake.
Yes, sir.
What happens if he gets signed, becomes big? Wesley's got something to talk about.
That's right. It's just such a professional, such a great guy backstage. And, as soon as that music hits and he comes through the curtain, he's all business. He and TJ Boss. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I've said this multiple times over the past 12 months. If I was not involved with HVW, I would have paid and bought a ticket to see our show. That's how good it was. And I'm saying that hand to God. That's what I believe. And that main event with him and TJ Boss, kids, if you've not seen it, it's on all of our social media. Go look at our YouTube channel. It's there. And you will dig it. It's such a good match, dude. Reminisce a little bit about that match, man, about him and TJ hooking up the main event at Resurrected that night.
Brother, them jokers, I knew they were going to do it, and I knew I picked the best two big men in the business to main event that show that night. And brother, I stood over off to the side and watched that match, and those guys gave everything they had for those fans, man. And I was so proud and honored to have had those two guys to represent us that night on our comeback show, the main event. And it was just it was really great, Tom. It really was.
We'd started planning Resurrected the fall before the actual event. It was September, October, the year prior in 2018. 19. Yeah. 19. See, I told you I'm scrambled. I'm eggs, baby. I'm scrambled. And the only main event that we had was Boss First. I don't think we ever had another main event. I think that was the main event that just.
We talked about that from the get-go. We wanted big man in the main event, and that's the first. I wanted HVW past, and that's two of the best big men that ever came through the company.
I agree. Shane says Drake would be a perfect fit with the Dark Order. Dude, so the Dark Order has morphed into this because, listen, the Dark Order can no longer be we're a dark satanic cult. And, dude, because of the passing of Brody Lee, we obviously know that's not going to happen anymore. They're trying to keep it lighthearted. They're baby faces now. Dude, do you think Drake with a sense of humor would fit into the Dark Order? And if they did it, should he play the straight man while they're all sort of comical around him, or do you think it would work?
I like the other part of his comment. That's
Drake
where he needs to be, man. That's where he needs to be. Could you imagine those three guys together? Good Lord! And then we would have two HVW superstars on AEW.
Yeah, on the same team.
Yes,
he could make that work. And I'll tell you this: if he were to be put, we're speculating, kids here, okay? But if he were to be put with Tully and FTR, that's. Dude, FTR is main event. They're main event. Drake would be right there, even
if Tully built a little stable, and Drake was the singles wrestler of the group, he would be the Arn Anderson of the group, and Tully right there with him. That would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude, and you'd need a fourth guy. They've been talking about doing their version of the Horsemen at least fans have been talking about it for a year. So, wow, just imagine Drake is the third part of that group. Man, shut up.
Dude, that would be awesome.
That's fun stuff, man.
That would
That's
be
really
absolutely awesome.
I'd love to see that, brother.
Yes, sir.
I think what's good about Drake is that he's got history. He's a veteran, but he's still in great shape. He's you can tell he's got cardio. Drake's a big boy, but he's not blowing up in there. You can tell.
Well, dude, look, I'm not trying to give his secrets, but a lot of people probably don't know that Drake's a hell of a softball player. You know,
I did not know that.
He does a lot of the competition softball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something else you probably don't know. I think he's done. I think if I can remember, he's had 3 or 4 300 games in bowling. I mean, he's a hell of a bowler too.
I mean, he's an athlete. He's an athlete, man.
Yeah.
He's all purpose for sure. But as I said, he's a veteran. He's an athlete. He can get up and down off the mat. I mean, you know and I don't want to give too much away, but you know it's important. How quick can you get up and down off the mat? It means
feed, baby.
It means
feed.
Everything. It means you can have the best physique. You could be the second coming of Lex Luger and look twice as good. But if it takes you 30 seconds to get off that mat, you're not gonna have much of a career because you need to. I mean, it's go, 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 and it doesn't mean you're a cruiserweight going 100 miles an hour. It just means when it's time for the comeback, you got to go.
You got to be able to get up.
I'm just saying. But yeah, man. Of course, Drake, all the continued success, man. I firmly expect something to be happening from this. And you know what? Let's say it doesn't. He's still got a bright future. The fact is, this was not national TV, but for all we know, he'll be on Dynamite tomorrow night. We don't know. I mean, anything could happen. I mean, we're seeing AEW Dark Talents getting signed to full-time contracts now. So Dark is there for a reason. Dark is to test the waters for these talents who've never worked in an AEW ring before and give them opportunity to be seen by Cody, the Bucks, Kenny Omega, Tony Khan, who's right behind that curtain right now, who's going to be shaking hands or bumping elbows or whatever and saying, "Hey, good job out there." You know, right. Let me get your number before you leave. I mean, I'm crazy excited for him. I really, truly am. So all the best to him, man.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about a few other talents here tonight while we're doing the show here. Let's talk about one of the guys we just mentioned, Mr. Cash Wheeler, which was known by a couple of other different names in the past. So, Gary, if people are watching and don't know the backstory on Mr. Cash Wheeler of FTR, give them the backstory.
Well, you know, I don't know, Tom. I don't know. You tell me. Should I mention his indie wrestling name?
I think is that his real name or is that his indie wrestling name?
That's his indie wrestling name. That's not his real name.
I think if we're not giving real names, it's probably cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, I met this young man many years ago, man. I was doing some shows in Marion, North Carolina, and that's the area he's from. And he actually came up to the venue that day we was setting the ring up and talked to me about getting on the show. And I'll be honest, I was kind of a prick to him because he was young. You know, he was young and, you know. But anyway, we did our show or whatever. We moved on back to Hendersonville several years later. And I done some business with Mr. Tom Williams. And Tom wanted to bring some guys up. And Stephen Walters was one of them. And, dude, we hit it off that night. And he kept coming up. And he became a huge part of HVW. And the fans knew him as Stephen the Fever Walters. And the night John Laurinaitis was at our event, Stephen and Loaded Guns Ken Magnum main evented that event. And, you know, I think that night Stephen got to talk to John, and I think that was the beginning of where he got some contacts with the bigger companies. So it's really cool to see these guys blow up, man, and blossom into superstars.
And of course, we all know he went on to become Dash Wilder as part of the Revival, right, now known as FTR, alongside Dax Harwood. So, look, kids, at the end of the day, names are just names. And sometimes you settle on, the best name of all time. Sometimes you settle on names that are kind of like, I still hate the name Dolph Ziggler. Full disclosure, hate it. But I don't hate the guy. He's phenomenal. I just hate the name. You know what I mean? But that's a personal thing for me. He's phenomenal. So not everyone's name can be Ric Flair. Not everyone's name can be, Magnum TA. Jesus, what a name. I mean, it's just the names that just roll off the tongue. But the fact is, folks, don't get too wrapped up in names. I mean, what counts the most is the work in the ring, the presentation, the whole package, as it were, the speaking. I mean, Wheeler's got all these things, man. I mean, he and his partner, they're basically blood brothers at this point. I mean, it's almost like they came from the same womb. They're just so in tune with each other. I'm sure they would probably agree with that sentiment as well. The thing with FTR coming to AEW was the whole Young Bucks feud they had online for a few years. What was FTR? And it was because the Revival were the hottest thing in WWE, and the Young Bucks were taking exception to that. So they started hashtag FTR, which was F the Revival. And it became, oh, okay, you're going to throw shade at us? All right, we'll see. So they started trading jabs online. Fast forward years later, next thing you know, they're coming to AEW, and it's like, we need a team name. Well, just call ourselves FTR. It was perfect. So
yeah.
It's funny
it's kind of a throw at the other company, too, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Oh, well done. And I've shown you the pictures before. I think I've shown them to you. The stuff that they wanted them to wear in WWE toward the end of their run, the gimmicks that they were trying to put on them. I show you this?
No, you've never showed me that,
brother. It is it's frightening. So kids, if you know the story, you'll know where I'm going with this. Toward the end of their run in WWE, they were going to be repackaged. And the stuff that these artists, so-called artists, were coming to them with, it's quite frankly embarrassing.
So, what were they going to change their name?
I think so. Dude, when you see this, you're going to freak out. It's the dumbest thing ever. Let's share this screen. For those of you listening to this audio version, you're missing some screen time here. Just saying. Let's there we go. That's what they were going to dress them up in.
What?
You see that? Yeah. Dude, these are the illustrations that were presented to them. And let's share this screen. Yeah, I know, right?
Are you kidding me?
Not kidding you. Let me give you a better one so you can get a better look at it.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
What's up, Chad Scott?
There you go. That's what they wanted to dress Cash and Dax up as in WWE. This was the big master plan. As you can see, Cash has a big clock around his neck like Flavor Flav from Public Enemy.
What?
Yeah. Oh, it's hot garbage. It's
hit the button.
Where is it?
Hot garbage.
Terrible. And they did Jericho's podcast when they came to AEW, and they were talking about it. And Harwood basically told Chris that their response to WWE was, look, if this is what you really think is the best thing for us to do, if this is how you think you're going to best utilize us as a tag team, you know what? We'll wear whatever you tell us, and we'll do it and do it better than anybody else you got. If this is really what you want from us. So basically, I'm not going to say they were giving up, but at that point, I guess they just felt like it was just being pushed on them so much that they just didn't have a choice but just accept it. I mean, their last year on TV was pretty bland, and
it was
no fault. I mean, shaving each other's backs in the shower. Are you kidding? I mean, it's just beyond bland, beyond silly. Through no fault of their own, they were just showing up to work and do what they were told to do.
Right. Well, and that's what you got to do sometimes when you're under that contract.
Yeah, it's a shame.
They made the right decision when that contract came up.
Yeah, and there had been rumors that they had went to WWE and asked for their release long before they ever actually got to AEW. I cannot confirm that. I don't recall if they confirmed it on Jericho's pod. You'd have to go back and listen. Brian Kanabraski in the house. Everybody show some love.
What's up, PWX?
Brian, congrats to you on getting the show back up and running, my friend. You and I have never spoke formally, but me and my kid have been to several of your shows, and I know that you and Gary have known each other for a while. So we look forward to getting HVW back off the ground as well, my friend. So continue success to you and your company for sure. And kids, shameless plug time. Go check out PWX. It's Pro Wrestling Experience here in the Carolinas.
Absolutely.
You won't be sorry.
Check it out.
Great wrestling product, man. You won't be sorry. They have a great presentation. So all the best to them for sure. But yeah, man, it was bland. It was ridiculous. It was silly, if I'm being straight. But you know what? They're pros, man, and they did the best they could with what they had. And at the end of the day, their wrestling, their work in the ring speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about a guy that we both know pretty well. You know him a lot better than I do. The Greek Wolverine Crucifix. Man, Chris has had his brush with the prime time as well. Talk to us about Chris going big time and working for WWE, man.
Yeah, it was really, really cool, dude. You know, I met Chris years ago too. He was actually working in a gym that I was going to, and me and him just started talking about wrestling. And I told him I was training. I had a training facility, and he came over and started training. And next thing, you know, spent a few weeks, a few months, and then it was on a show. And you know, he hit the ring running and did very well. The crowd responded well to him, and you know, he did what he needed to do, and he got out there and got his name out. And you know, when we were fortunate enough to do the business with WWE, I was able to take Chris backstage one time as an extra, and you know, he did his job and just stayed in touch and kept in contact, and they've been able to use him quite a bit lately. So I'm proud of him too, man. Another one of HVW originals.
And he's got a good head for business. He knows who he is. And Gary, you can attest to this. A big part of what goes on in the ring is understanding who you are and what you're capable of, and not doing too much, not just in terms of physicality, right? But knowing where you can go for yourself, for your personality, what you can and can't say. How do I put this into words? Knowing what you can accomplish and what you can't, what you're capable of, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, you know, back in the day, if Viper got in the ring and square danced or tried to sing a song, or you see them, or like it was suddenly became a musical. Some guys can pull stuff like that off. That's not really who Viper is.
Right.
So you knew who you were from the moment you got through the curtain. You were dialed in, the shades, the hair, just the whole night, the water bottle. That was Viper. Okay. And you stayed that way till you got back through the curtain. Chris is one of those guys that from the moment he steps through that curtain, he's all business. Whoever you thought you knew behind the curtain is gone. That guy's gone. I applaud him for that. He's very in tune with what he's doing, and he's very comfortable with who he is in the ring for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, and Chris has worked hard to get where he's at. So, you know, he's paid his dues.
Yes, sir. And, you know, he doesn't always agree with HVW management, and I've had him on the HVW podcast, and we had a civil conversation. He's not exactly someone to pal around with, at least not. I mean, I've never tried, but you know, he's stiff competition in the ring. He's a fierce competitor, and I'll never not give him that. I mean, the battle he had with TGA at First Strike last year is still, I mean, arguably the best match that we've had in the two shows of our relaunch. I think it's that good.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. That was great.
Yeah. I mean, just such a talented guy. The trio of guys for me, and you listen, you can hit me with some maybe that I'm not thinking about. I mean, we got to put TJ Boss on this list. The big man on campus who, before the pandemic and everything, and I don't think he'll kill me for saying this on the show, but there was some forward movement with the NWA, and we were very excited for him. Obviously, we still are, because never say never on any of this stuff. I swear to God, dude, I think you could put Drake versus Boss on Dynamite tomorrow night, and it would fit right in. I don't.
Oh. Dude, if they pulled off half the match that they did at Resurrection, yeah, they should have been semi-main or main event on Dynamite.
Yeah,
I mean that match is as good as anything I've seen on there.
Dude, I've showed that particular match to people I know who are maybe not really wrestling fans, but they've all said the same thing. That could be on TV. That was really good. So yeah, it's I don't think they get enough credit for that. Had we not been shut down last year, kids, and we could have kept moving forward, a year later, fast forward a year later, who knows where we would have been by now? What kind of forward progress we could have made. We're still wanting to make forward progress. So, again, TJ is one of those guys you don't want to cross. Drake's more approachable backstage. He's more of a how you doing, son, that kind of thing, and shake your hand and be a friendly guy. Dude, TJ, man, if you bump into him, he might knock you in the floor.
He attacked me at a rest area several years back, beat the crap out of me on the side of Interstate 40.
That's crazy. Tell that story, man, because you told it to me. I think we've talked about it on the pod, but it's been a while.
Well, TJ and I were kind of, feuding in HVW. So me and some of the other guys had went to Mount Airy for the weekend to do a show with one of the AIWF companies. And on the way back, me and Aaron Vaughn and Ivan M. Righteous and somebody else was with us. We hit a rest area. And as I'm coming out of the rest area, headed back to the car, I get attacked from behind, and it's TJ Boss. He beat the crap out of me.
I don't mean to laugh at you. It's just the way you put it.
No, dude, he did. I mean, he got me
what
from
could
behind.
I do?
It's on YouTube. Go pull it up and watch it. It's all over.
It's
on YouTube.
Now you're going to make me do it because now I've never pulled that. Have I ever pulled it up to watch it?
I don't know. Look, some guy just comes running up, hollering at him. Hey, what's going on?
Good stuff.
And
I got it. Yeah.
I'll tell you something else too. Whoever he's got filming that dang thing, they're wearing flip-flops because you can hear when they're running. You can hear their flip-flops.
Oh man, I'm sorry, but that's funny. I mean, not you getting beat down, but the other part's funny. I'm just saying.
So you found the video?
Oh. Let's share it, man. I got to see this. You know what?
Do it.
This is not copyrighted. We're going to share the audio on this too. Everybody, check this out. Tune in, listen, watch this. The following graphic footage is an incident that recently took place at an undisclosed location off I-40 in North Carolina. TJ looking slim and trim. That's legit, TJ.
That's TJ.
Wow. TJ's a baby in this. Holy God, dude. You didn't see him there?
No, look, I'm over there. I'm on the other side of the dang parking lot. I never even went on that side of the rest area. You hear the flip-flops?
I hear them. Need a steady cam on this.
Yeah, he didn't plan it too well.
Wow. Whoever's filming this is blowed up.
Yeah, I don't know who he had. Look, he done knocked the hair off the top of my head.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's TJ Boss's fault, damn it.
Dude, did anyone around here call the cops as this was happening?
Dude, some guy come running. Some dude come running up. That's what made him stop.
Wow. Shut up. Is this the guy?
Yeah, it's just a random dude.
Holy Lord, that's insane. A good Samaritan has helped out. Whoever Boss's cameraman is blowed up. I can't stress that enough to you. Here's my takeaway. 2 takeaways. 1, the Good Samaritan. 2, the blowed up cameraman. The Black Panther TJ Boss. I never knew he called himself the Black Panther. I never knew that.
He did, man. He did.
That's good stuff. I just want to hear some more heavy breathing from the cameraman. Where's that going to happen again?
Yeah, that's funny, huh? Oh, wow.
Man. There you go, kids. Hey, brace yourself, Gary. That was 8 years ago.
I know, dude.
Crazy.
That's crazy, huh?
Wasn't that fun, kids?
That's
YouTube's
nuts, dude.
fun. I mean, not that you got beat down. That's not fun. But I'm saying the rest of it was pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
That was too crazy back then in those days, man.
I'm telling you.
Had to start watching my back everywhere I went.
You know, I'll be honest with you. The EOD thing. All right, so the EOD thing, if I can go on this for a second, the EOD thing is twofold. One is, and Shane just chimed in with, now I just need to see Tom as bishop.
Tom,
bishop,
you gotta have some pictures. You gotta have some pictures of us to pose together.
Yeah, I do. I gotta look them up. It's twofold with us. One is, as EOD, you had a target on your back. We all did. But part 2 of that is nobody really had the guts to jump us. I mean, we got challenged. Judge threw me around a little bit. Thanks, Judge, for not killing me. But Judge and I are friends now, kids. At the time, we weren't so friendly. But no one really had the guts. I mean, who was that really came? And you'll have to tell me about EOD up in HVW. I mean, who was EOD's primary competition in HVW? Give me some backstory.
It was the conspiracy, brother. The conspiracy that, EOD was running strong. And JD Costello took over one night. I had a cage match with Section 8. And EOD was supposed to be at ringside. And when I got ready to go to the ring, I couldn't find EOD. Nobody was around. And so I go out and have the cage match with Section 8. At the end of the match, all these car horns and stuff start blowing and beeping. The bay doors go up on the HVW arena, and all the EOD guys are tied up and taped up in the back of pickup trucks. And here comes JD Costello with Ricky Regal, Cruiser Lewis, Section 8 turned, JD Drake turned.
Wow.
And they became the conspiracy.
Dude, I don't know if I even knew about all that. Tied up in trucks?
Yes, and I actually have a DVD that's got all of that on it. That was filmed by High Spots.
Wow. Okay. All right. Here's a little something. Oh yeah, baby. This is a throwback here. Shane, are you still with us? Has Shane left the group? If so, Shane, you're gonna miss out. You asked for it. You got it. Here we go. That's it.
Boom, shakalaka.
Yeah.
I love that picture, dude.
Dude, that's 21 years ago. Okay.
Look at the Viper.
I'm telling you, man.
Look at my man back there.
Leviathan in the center. We lost our brother last year.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, we continued condolences and support to his family. I hope that they are getting through it. It's nothing you ever get over. You just have to get through it. And Gary, you know that. You never get over it. You just you get through it. You go through it, and then you try to get through it. And sometimes that process is years and years and years. So, yeah. Since we're doing this screen sharing thing, here's another one. Got that EOD flag. Where did you have that made, by the way?
Dude, I made it.
Did you really?
Yeah. I mean, I bought the flag with the skull and crossbones on it, but I painted the EOD on it.
There's 300-pound Bishop with his fat guy clothes. Because when you're 300 pounds, you wear fat guy clothes. So,
hey, go check out that comment. Carlton Wanda Barber.
There we go. Sports promoter, Carolina's Indie Heat Wrestling Magazine Promotions on Facebook. Carlton, thanks for hanging out, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Carolina's
brother.
Indie Heat Wrestling Magazine and Promotions Company. Nice.
We'd love to talk sometime.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Shane's still here. All right. Shane, you got your picture, brother. Yeah, man. So there we are.
Tom, pull up the
this one?
The bottom full rows, second picture over from the left.
How about this? How about we pull up the one, okay? The night that somebody decided it's time to go solo, okay? It's time that the bass player became the lead singer, all right? Because that's what happened here, all right? If you're asking for a rant, I'm going to give you one. We were loyal blood brothers, okay? And then who decided I got to be the main event guy now? And bam, there you go. So.
Sorry, dude.
I'll have everyone note the betrayal here, everybody.
Oh,
let me peel back the curtain for a sec, man. Nobody was more excited for you than I was, and I remember in the locker room telling you, I am pumped up for you right now. And you looked at me, not like a jerk or anything, but you're like, why like that? And I said, dude, this is gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. I really was excited because I knew while it meant a negative for us, it was going to be, and man, it meant a lot for you. Let's be honest. It meant a lot for you moving forward from that point.
It was a lot. I mean, dude, it was a lot for me. But I couldn't have done it without all of you guys. Hey, the last full row, the second picture from the left.
This one.
Yeah.
That's after Tom lost all the weight. I'm at 185 right there. So
yes, sir. That's awesome, dude.
Right now I'm at 205, so I'm not far from that.
Dude, I'm at 225.
Man, you have almost caught me, dude. Wow.
225, brother. 65 pounds.
Hey, I'm at 205. I'm officially a cruiserweight. 205 Live, baby. Guess what?
Yes, sir.
It's 205 Live. Welcome to the show. I should have just led with that. That's good stuff. This was
check
the
out
night
that last comment, Tom.
This was the night in HVW when you had Gunner up. Remember that?
Oh yeah. I knew that was in a HVW building. I can tell by the locker room.
Yeah, dude. Man, if there's one guy that has kept himself in shape his entire career, it's Tatanka. Have you seen him lately?
Yes, he still looks like a million. But hey, Lodi the same way.
Yeah, he is.
Lodi's the same way.
Yeah. Shane said, and downtown Bruno used to say it bees that way sometimes. There you go. Shane's an old school fan, man. He can talk territory stuff with you all day.
Yes, sir. That's awesome.
Yeah, those are good memories, man. You guys want to see vacation pics of the wife and kids?
No.
You came to the right place. I'm just kidding. I'll be that annoying guy from the Facebook. David says, looking young.
He was young back then.
Yeah. Younger.
We old now.
Speak for yourself, baby. I'm in my prime.
I hear you, boss.
Let's see. Carlton's wanting to be on the show. Well, that depends what all good stuff you have to say. And hit us when we go off the air tonight, man. We'll see what's going on. There you go.
Yes, sir.
All righty. So yeah, back to Boss. I didn't mean to just jump off of Boss there. Anybody else would tell you that Boss behind the scenes is a really nice guy. But again, I don't cross the boss. That's a mistake. You know what they say? Don't cross the boss. So I don't. Because I prefer not to have that gigantic fist up in my face. Scares me a little bit. So I'm just saying. Speaking of Facebook stuff, let's throw up a few little something from HVW page here, since we're talking about photos and stuff like that and all that good.
Yes, sir.
because it was just making me think about. Let's see, and I will find it. I shall find it. If it kills me, it may indeed kill me. By the way, kids, for anybody out there curious about HVW social media, yes, I'm the social media director. And no, I've not had much to direct on the social media. It does not mean I don't want to. But at this point, if it's a choice between occasionally posting or taking the same content from the two shows that we did, which I'm proud of both shows, but despite what anybody thinks or says, I don't really care. Everybody involved with those two shows knows that it was a home run for this company, and I'm very proud of what we put together. I really am. I'm more proud of the talent that got in the ring and plied their craft for the paying fans in attendance that night. But the last thing I want to do is shove this stuff down people's throats. And, that's why it's good that we do the podcast and we occasionally come on and pay respects to someone or do a couple of announcements here or there and start planning behind the scenes. I mean, I think it's important that we do those things. So,
hey, we should be coming up on the year anniversary to First Strike, right?
29th, which would be the 28th this year. Yes.
Right. So, we should do a watch party like we did for Resurrected.
Absolutely. That's the plan.
Yes, sir.
That is a plan. So, check your calendars, kids. The 28th is next Sunday. Sunday might be the day. We might go for Saturday, since the show happened on a Saturday last year. We shall see. Everyone stay tuned to the social media for the next few days, and we will update you as time goes on.
Yes.
This is what I wanted to show the good people out there. This was the video that I put together for a 6 versus Boss at First Strike. Just a little something like a teaser screen that I had put together. I know you'll remember this. There we go. Boom. And it's this right here. There we go.
Yes, sir.
You tell me that's not imposing. You're lying. Okay.
That's awesome.
Dude, they mean business. You kidding me?
Dude, that's a main event on any that right there is a main event on any national show out there. So I don't know why these guys aren't doing it.
Believe it. Believe it, baby. Yes, sir. Salem Center and the Boss. Big man on campus. For sure. Yeah, good stuff, man.
Shane's actually asked some good questions, Tom.
All right, let me back up. Shane says, what do you like most, managing or lead commentary? Managing is fun. I don't know if I care to be in harm's way anymore. You know what I mean? So I like the table. I like what I do behind the scenes. My face was the one seen the most since our relaunch. And that was not done because Tom loves to be on camera. It was done because I was doing everything in my power to help get our name back out there and to get us some press and to, push forward and help put the talent over and help put the company over. It wasn't because Tom deserves or needs to be on camera. I just felt like it was my job, and I still feel like it's my job to help get us out there as much as I possibly can. Having said all that, I enjoy doing commentary. I enjoy working behind the scenes. He also asked, Gary, do you like running the company or would you prefer to this is a great question. Okay, so in an Elseworlds type of situation where it's an alternate reality, let's say that you didn't have to start HVW. Would you have just stuck to it had you taken a different path? What do you think?
I definitely loved wrestling. I love performing, and I'm a performer. I love being out in front of the crowd. But as when I broke into the business before I ever started promoting, I traveled around to a lot of different shows, man, from North Carolina to Georgia to Tennessee. I was all over the place, and I just kept seeing a lot of things that, man, why is it like this? Or why is it like this? Or if I was running, I would do it this way. So I just decided, hey, I'm going to run my own shows and let's see what happens. And, I really didn't intend to ever be a promoter. I started training guys, and we got to the point to where they needed to be in front of a crowd, but I wasn't going to take them to somebody else's show. So, we decided to invite some family to our little building, and we had enough people show up to pay the rent on the building. And then that's when, hey, you should start running your own shows. That's when that really hit me. And man, I just remembered all the things that I seen that was wrong or should have been done different at all the shows I traveled to for years. And I just tried to make it different and make it the best it could be. And I never, ever wanted HVW to be an indie promotion. We are a professional wrestling promotion.
We've said that from the jump. I mean, I think it's important to have that divide. And maybe, listen, we're not making the wheel here, kids. We're not trying to do something extraordinary, revolutionary. I mean, if indie promoters want to call themselves that, it's fine. If indie wrestlers want to call themselves, it's fine. We're not trying to diss anybody, but to us, it's a mindset. It's a different way of looking at things. It's a different way of, like, here's the standard. We want to be here.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that's big talk coming from a company that can't run right now. I get it. Okay, I get it. But we still have the mindset of we want to be here, not here. And we're not trying to throw anybody under the bus and say, "Rest, you guys are here, okay?" That's not what this is. This is
not at all.
We focus on ourselves, nobody else. Listen, for anybody out there who believes AEW should worry about this because of Vince and Vision, if you really believe that Tony Khan is worried about anything in terms of worrying about anything, you're crazy. He's trying to make his product the best he can. That's our belief too. We're not really thinking worried means whatever. We're not really thinking about anybody else. We just want to be the best HVW we can be, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's I like to raise the bar. I like to set the standard, man. And it's if I'm not trying to compete with anybody but my past. I want every show to be better than the show before that one. If we can improve every event, we just get better and better and better. That's all that matters to us.
Yeah. Just outdo yourself the next time.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Come back better the next time. I mean, that's what it's all about.
And take care of the guys and try to, treat them right and give them a good place. And, you treat them right, take care of them. They want to be a part of your company. They want to help your company succeed. And they don't look at it as your company. They look at it as our company.
Yeah. And that's a good point, man. It's, folks, the thing about this business, and there's a lot of stuff that a lot of fans don't realize, but a lot of what we do is a payday type of scenario. It is, okay, I'm on this show. Here's my payday. I do my thing. I leave. I go to this show. It's my payday. I do my thing and I'll leave. And there's nothing wrong with that. Guys have been doing it for years. Gals have too. It's all good. But like you just said, the idea of, hey, not only is this, it's a payday. We get it. But we'd like for you to come back because we think that we have a good spot for you and we want to build something around you. That means something. Gary, tell me it meant something to you when you were a full-time wrestler, man.
Man, I can remember the first time, it's that another company other than the UWA approached me and wanted me to represent their company as the champion. And, dude, I was absolutely honored. I mean, it wasn't 2.5 years before that, I was sitting at home watching their TV show on the Hickory TV channel on Friday afternoons. 2.5 years later, he's got me in his office telling me he wants me to represent his company as the champion. I was honored. That's the way I look at it, Tom. A lot of guys think a belt's a prop or whatever, and it really is. But on our level, I guess that's how you reward who you reward for being loyal and busting their butt and representing your company. You know, I'm not gonna put the belt on the guy that comes and wrestles for me once or twice or 3 times a year because he looks like $1 million. You know, I'm going to put it on the guy that walks through the curtain knowing he's the HVW champ and he's proud to be the HVW champ. You know, and when he leaves there that night, he's still proud that he's the HVW champ. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when he walks in the locker room the next week, I want him to carry himself as the HVW champ. And he should walk through that locker room and the other guys should say, hey, that's our champ. We're proud of him. He leads our company. He represents us. And they should all strive to be like him.
Stone Cold Steve Austin said it best, and he said it more than once in his career, in his time. If you don't want to be the world champ, you shouldn't be here, period. I mean, that should be your goal. And if it's not your goal, kind of what are you doing here? You want to be a wrestler and have fun and make some memories? Okay. But why don't you want to be the best? And for me, being the best means being at the top of your game, which means being at the top of the company. It's got to mean something. It's got to be. And look but you're right. The word prop is thrown around a lot by fans and maybe by guys in the business too. But that, you know what the belt means? What it means to you is what it means. And the way you carry yourself. If Ric Flair looked at the belt as being just a prop, we would have gotten the Nature Boy. Imagine seeing Flair in jeans and a T-shirt and never seeing him in a suit with a limo, with the horseman, with champagne, caviar, diamonds. Never. Because he's like, hey, this is just a job. This is just a prop. Flair was the world's heavyweight champion.
Right, and he lived it. He lived it.
Because it meant something to him.
Man, I watched a little documentary, just like a little indie documentary one time about Flair. And this guy says that, you know, he was interviewing Flair, and Flair says, if we made $600, we spent 12. You know, if we made 1,000, we spent 2. You know, they was living it up, man. I'm not kidding.
He's told stories of him and Dusty. I think Dusty was the first one to get a fur coat, and then Rick went and got one because they were competing. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Fur coat, 9 degrees outside. You pull up in a limo in a fur coat. Dusty Rhodes in a fur coat is something.
Man, I remember that shit. I remember when he come out there when him and Baby Doll first got together, and he had that big old fur coat on.
Him and Magnum had it too. Him and Magnum were wearing it one night.
Yeah.
Yes, we've done shows reminiscing, but it makes me just want to do another one.
Absolutely, dude. I love talking about the old times.
Now you're gonna make me look it up because I have to.
Ringsiders is in the house
because it's a great freaking picture. What's up, Ringsiders? How are you, my friend? Bear with me here, kids. And it's glorious. It's glorious. It's glorious. Hold on. Glorious. Bam! I love it.
Look at Tony Schiavone, dude.
Look, just look at Magnum's expression where he's like,
yep. Magnum's like, yeah, I'm Big Daddy Magnum.
You could caption this and just focus, like slowly zoom in on Magnum and just put it under his face, living my best life.
Yes,
because that's what he's doing right here, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone was cracking me up.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
It's been a good show, Tom.
Yes, sir. We're going to call tonight here, kids. It's been an hour. I had no idea it even been that long. I'm just talking away.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, before we get out of here, a couple news and notes, because we always like to tell you about news and notes. We never stopped planning the return show. We started and we've never stopped. It's still a work in progress behind the scenes. We had to do it right. We had to do it safe, or we can't do it because we won't put ourselves in danger or you or anyone else. And let's face it, as much as we want to do it, 10 people in the crowd is not going to work for us. We want to but we got to do it right. So what's this mean? I don't know. We have to play this by ear, but I promise you we're having a lot of discussions behind the scenes, and we're doing our best to get back to you.
I will give you this much. We have a date on the books. We're waiting to see what kind of restrictions Roy Cooper is going to lift off of North Carolina. Our venue is going to follow those restrictions, so that's what we're waiting on.
Yeah,
when we can have a crowd, we will do it.
We've got to be in compliance, kids. It's not just about, someone ratting us out on the phone or whatever. I don't really care about that stuff. I don't really care what anybody says. I never have. It's just that, again, the difference between being an indie wrestling company and a professional wrestling company in our minds is, you do the right thing and you follow the right protocol and you're professional. And that's what we're trying to do here. So PWX has managed to do it. And it may be something as simple as continued conversations with Brian, where it's like, hey, what did you guys do to get ready? And, if they've got a model that works and that model applies to HVW, then maybe we can discuss that at length. But again, kids, I promise you, we're having conversations. So everybody out there who's followed us in the past, and I assure you we're back on the track at some point. Also, we kicked off this show with JD Drake and AEW. And folks, if you have not seen JD Drake and AEW, you are doing life wrong. Be sure that you go check it out. It is on the YouTube, AEW Dark, on the February 23rd edition of AEW Dark. You don't want to miss it. It was a really good match, really well done from start to finish. Really fun stuff. Drake is he's a man, kids. He testified to it, Chop City. And I promise you it's Chop City. Kingston does his thing. Drake does his thing as only he can. And of course, Gary, I know you're very proud of this guy. I know you're very proud of everything he's accomplished in the business. And
absolutely.
Let me get it back up here real quick. And there we go. So be sure, kids, you go check it out. It's at the 40-minute, 21-second mark. The 40-minute, 21-second mark. Enjoy the whole show. It's fine. But if you want to see this match in particular, 40 minutes, 21 seconds, former HVW champion JD Drake doing his thing against Eddie Kingston. Gary,
yes,
you got
sir.
any parting comments for the crew here tonight?
Yes, sir, man. Before we leave, man, everybody just, I know a lot of the wrestling fans don't know about my personal life, but, I've been taking care of my mom for a while. My mother's got dementia, and she has just got to the point to where it's not safe for her to be at home. So tomorrow she will be going into a care facility. So if you will, guys, just keep me and my mom in your prayers and positive thoughts or whatever, and just know HVW's we're coming back, baby. We're coming back. Just keep Mama Viper lifted up.
Absolutely, man. All the best to you. Of course, you and your family, obviously. And, we're always here for you, man. It means a lot to have family. It means a lot to have that support system. You and I both have been through a whole lot of crap in the past few years, and it's a lot of stuff to deal with. And you've had the lion's share of nonsense and stuff happening. But kids, that's what we like to call life. It throws you a curveball, and sometimes you're ready. Most time you're not. But the number one most important thing, and I've said it from the moment we restarted, I'll say it until I shuffle off this mortal coil. Okay. Always forward
always.
You got to. There's just the alternative is you wither up and die. I'm not laying down for anybody.
Nope.
And I know you're not. So, Gary, thanks as always, my friend. Again,
yes,
we
sir,
appreciate
brother.
it.
Much love, Tom.
Yes, sir. All right, kids, we're going to get out of here. Listen, man, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're watching this after the fact, please follow HVW on all of our social media. We do appreciate you guys always hanging out and being there for us. We promise you we're coming back. Tune in 2 weeks from tonight. There it is. We'll be back. A couple of quick plugs before we split. Tom Clark 6M podcast dropped a new episode today. Jordan's Bulls Part 1. Please go download. Check it out today if you will. I appreciate it. Tom Clark's Main Event live on Fridays, 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time on Wrestling Rumors Facebook Live. That's what we got for you, kids. Thanks as always for hanging out. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. HVW Podcast.